Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm excited to be sitting here because I feel like I haven't just sat here and filmed just like a makeup tutorial for you guys in a while. It's just been some special guests and all that fun. So I'm excited to be sitting here and actually filming a makeup tutorial. I don't know what makeup look I am going for, but I do have something in my head. I do want to use this Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions palette. Gabby actually used this in our drunk get ready with me video. Hopefully it'll go up before this one. If not, then it's coming, girl. Trust me, you will want to see that one. Yeah, so she kind of dug in on it, but this is what it looks like. I'm very in the mood to do like a emerald smoky, I am guessing. Yeah, this looks so pretty. I might mix in, oops. I might mix in a few other palettes, maybe playing around with the Sultry Anastasia palette. I have played around with this one a little bit, but actually I really love it. So I might mix a few of these shades because they have some darker shades, some blacks. This one just has the emerald. So yeah, guys, if you want to see what makeup look that I'm going to create, then please keep on watching. Here's a hot mess. It might look smooth from the front, but it's all, oh, you can see it. Just kidding. You totally could see it. I got it so perfect, you guys, and I'm annoyed because I literally got it perfection today. My ponytail has never looked better when I did it, right? I put this damn shirt on and all my baby hairs came right back down to play. So I gave up, and sorry if it's bothering you, because it's bothering me. So first thing we're going to be doing is going in with the Bobbi Brown Face Base. This is my favorite thing to prime my entire face with. I do have moisturizer on already, but you know, you can never have enough. Why is my chair turning? I'm like sitting here and like... So I got some on my sponge, and I'm just going to kind of stipple it in. I don't know why I sound so damn nasally, honestly. I'm not sick whatsoever. I was sick like a month ago, and it just is lingering. Like my nose is just stuffy, and I just sound nasally, and everyone keeps asking if I'm sick, but I am not sick at all. Like I feel perfectly fine. Everything's fine, just my nose is clogged. I cannot breathe, that's the only thing, which is very annoying, and I can't stand my voice like this. Next thing, of course, is I'm going to be taking a Timeless Smoothing Primer by Tarte. I'm kind of debating if I want to use my Farsali Skin Tune Blur. I don't know my mood. I just feel like this fills it in so much better, so I'm just going to go in with this. I do love this, but I feel like it's just faster and easier, and it really does blur, but this like fills in your pores. Like this blurs and does fill in the pores, but this focuses just on pores in my opinion. So I love this stuff. It's literally like the bottom of the jar, but you know, you could still get a good amount out because, and this lasted me so long, honestly. It really did. I'm due for a new one for sure. I was just at Sephora yesterday, but I didn't even think about primer. I got me the Precisely My Brow Pencil, and then I went to MAC and I got more 252 brushes because, 242 brushes because I lose these all the time, and they are good packing brushes for glitter. Okay, so while all that primer is settling into my skin, I'm going to be taking the Precisely My Brow Pencil that I just got. I got shade 3.5. I usually probably would be a 4 because my natural hair is so dark, but since I've been dyeing my hair blonde, I just kind of didn't want to go that dark with my pencil because I've been not liking it at all. I feel like I look scary when I go too dark. So I am gonna try the 3.5 and hope for the best that it works out. I'm just gonna be brushing my hairs upward. I always like to take the spoolie first. I just want to fill in my brows now before I do my makeup because it gives you a good guideline while you're doing your eyeshadow. It depends my mood. Sometimes I do it last, sometimes I do it first, honestly. Sometimes I just can't look at them. So usually it is good to do them first in my opinion. Oh yeah, okay, so this color is actually pretty good. It's filling them in, but it's not giving them that dark look that I don't like when I use my actual natural hair color, because when I do, I literally just look, I don't know, it's just too bold. So usually when I fill in my eyebrows, I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz, but to be totally honest, it literally runs out in 3 days. Like, no exaggeration. If I'm actually talking for real, it runs out in a week, or maybe 2 if I'm lucky, if I don't use it, like, I don't know, if I don't use it a lot. But it's $20 and it runs out every day. Like, I'm good. So I'm trying this one, hopefully. This one was more expensive, but if it lasts longer, I'm fine with that because you're getting more product for your money. So hopefully this one will last longer. I feel like I run through those like they're water. Literally. Okay, so next thing I'm going to be doing is carving out my eyebrows with the KKW Beauty Concealer. You guys, this is number 1. I usually use shade number 5, but I accidentally ordered this one when I was placing the kits. I don't know, I accidentally ordered it when I ordered my number 5, so I'm just going to use it to carve out my brows, and I don't care that it's lighter because honestly I'm just going to use it as my eyeshadow primer slash base, and I want it to be light, so whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw the line and then blend it out. Okay, so I went a little crazy with the shaping out my brows. I wanted to do it like the Instagram way, but you know, it always looks crazy before it looks better. So yes, like I said, I know this concealer is too light for me. Today I'm going to be going in with the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wearing Foundation, the longest name in the book, but I haven't used this one in a while, so I'm excited to use it. I'm in shade Buff. So let's go ahead and stamp this onto the face. Now I'm going to go ahead and conceal my under eyes using the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. Then we're going to go ahead and blend it out with our beauty sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes using this first shade in the palette. Right over here, I'm going to take my sponge and just dab in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take it and put everywhere where I concealed. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna be doing is taking my Hourglass Mineral Veil powder and stamping it all on my face to set the rest of my face. I like to take it on my beauty blender and literally stamp it into my skin. And at first I like to focus on the areas where I have my pores and my T-zone, because I feel like, first of all, it fills in and blurs and smooths everything. It's literally called Mineral Veil Powder for a reason, because I swear it puts a veil on your face. This powder is not normal. I don't think I'll like ever stop liking this powder. I like stamp it right over here where my pores are, and it just fills them in and smooths them even more. I take the rest under my eyes, and then I grab a little bit more product, and then I lightly stamp it everywhere else so it spreads out evenly. Before, when I first got this powder, I would put it on with a brush like this, which nothing is wrong with that at all, but I just found it better to stamp it in with a beauty sponge because it really pushes it into the skin and really gives it the full effect that the powder is capable of doing. I feel like it does work better stamping it in with a beauty sponge, beauty blender, just a sponge in general. A damp one, by the way, it just pushes it into the skin and makes it look so smooth and amazing. So I would recommend doing it that way, but you could definitely try it any way you like. Everybody has different skin. For me, I like to target it in the certain areas and literally push it into the skin. And I don't feel that this clogs your pores, so I think it would be okay for you to use it. I haven't noticed anything different in my skincare just from this powder. It doesn't make me break out or anything, so I think it's an amazing powder. So you should definitely try it if you have not checked it out. If you have problematic skin, I swear, I don't know why, I feel like this powder will just give you that, with the foundation and with the concealer and all that stuff, and this on top, I think this will give you the most flawless Facetune-like face in real life. So right after powdering my face, I like to go in with a little bit of Fix Plus or just a spray in general, just to kind of let my face get some moisture back in it, because powders do, you know, soak up all the oils and whatnot. So I like to go ahead and spray this and bring some life back into my skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Setting sprays give me life. It just feels so good, so refreshing, so amazing. It makes all the powders look more skin-like. If you've never tried a setting spray, you are missing out on life. Who else is obsessed with Coke? This is my weakness. I cannot give it up for the life of me. It's always in my house, always around me, and not helping my diet. So right when the spray is literally almost dry, like I feel my face not as wet anymore, I like to take my beauty blender again and just stamp it in and just push all the product right back into my skin, and it just makes it look more flawless and picks up any excess like moisture or powder or whatever. Am I weird that I like turtlenecks? Because I just think they're so cute. Okay, so before I finish off the face, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the eyes, and I'm gonna be taking the Emerald Obsessions palette. So I'm gonna be taking this first shade in the palette, or I'm sorry, second shade in the first row, right up here. So this is my first time trying out the Emerald palette. I have tried her Mini Obsessions palette, like the first one she came out with, but not the ones with like the diamond on it that she has with all the colors. Gabby, like I said, has tried this one, so that's why it's dug into. But we're gonna go ahead and see how this works, and hopefully my vision comes to life. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out on my eye and see what happens. Okay, so I loved how that laid down on my lid. It laid down very, very nicely. I went ahead and just kind of took a second brush. This is the Morphe Y17 brush, and I kind of just buffed out the edges because I was stippling it on with the first brush I went in with. I went like that. And then I took this other brush, the Y17 I think I said. Yeah, the Y17, and I kind of just swirled it around with no product on this brush just to blend it out further. But I did go in with about 3 layers to get it to this pigmented, which I don't mind because sometimes with transition shades, you don't want it to go on so pigmented all at once because it won't blend out, and it would be so much harder as a transition shade to be there, you know? So it is like a nice light wash of color, which I really don't mind. I could even go in with a second layer, or another layer, like a 4th layer, but I like it at this pigment right now in this color, so I'm gonna keep it, and then I'm just gonna keep on going. So on a JH33 brush, I'm gonna be going in with that shade right over here. A lot of pigment comes on the brush. Looks really good. I'm gonna tap it out so nothing falls on my face, since I did do my face makeup first today. I don't know why. That was just the vibe. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this on the outer corner, so the outer V of my eye, but I am gonna take it into my crease, but I'll probably use a smaller brush for that. So for now, I'm just gonna stamp it on like this in the outer corner of my eye. And I'll take more of like a pencil brush after and run it through the crease and probably take it up just a tad bit. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, now I'm going to be taking a JH39 brush with the same color right over here, the same exact color, tapping it out and stamping it. I'm going to stamp it, not going to rub back and forth. I'm going to stamp it into my crease like so to give it maximum pigment. And I did, you see how I'm taking it a little bit higher? Obviously I'm gonna blend it out. It's gonna look scary at first, but just go ahead and place it where you want, and then you can go back in and blend. Next thing I'm gonna be doing is taking a JH40 brush, going back in with that first shade. This is a very, very small, tapered to the top blending brush. So I'm going to be taking it very softly. I did put product on it. And I'm going to be very ever so lightly going right on top. Like I'm gonna come close just so you see this is where the green ends. I'm gonna be going right in between where I put this first shade and this darker shade, and just very lightly blending it out in small circular motions just so it doesn't go everywhere, it doesn't get messy, and you blend it precisely. Blending is patience. If you want to have a good eyeshadow day, if you want to be doing like a smoky eye or stuff like that, blending. It just takes time. It is very time consuming. So if you want to get that perfect blend, personally, I just think it takes time and patience to actually sit there and blend and do it. Sometimes I'm lazy too. Why do you think I always tell you guys shortcuts? Because cream shadows are shortcuts, you know? But other than that, sometimes I'm in the mood to sit and blend. So go ahead and try it. If you always hated how your eyeshadow came out, just sit there and take time and just blend it for a while, you know? It takes time, but you know, if you do the steps, you'll get the results. Okay, so next thing I'm going to be going in with is the Jaclyn Hill palette because she has some emerald greens in here and it's a little deeper than the one in the Huda palette. So I'm going to be going in with this shade right here. I'm going to be sticking with the JH39 brush. I did clean it off a bit to go in with this deeper shade. It is the bullet brush, so it can go on very precisely and I can stamp it on exactly where I want it to go. So I'm going to be stamping it in the outer V of my eye and doing the same process and stamping it on in my crease. But this time I'm not going to go as high as I did with the lighter green shade from this palette. I'm going to be keeping it a little bit low and more towards the lid, like right over here, and stamping it in the outer corner. So I'm starting off in the outer corner and I'm going to build up a V right like that, and then I'm going to be taking it and stamping it right in my crease, and I'm lifting my brow so I could tuck it exactly, like if I had it like this I would take it too high, but the fact that I'm lifting my eyebrow is allowing me to tuck it right into that socket perfectly, exactly where I want it, and be very precise. For some reason the other brush, the pointer brush, was making this shade go on a little bit patchy. I don't know if you can see that. By the way, don't mind if it comes too low on your lid because we're going to be cutting out the crease with concealer anyways. But so yeah, I'm going to be taking it on this little fluffier tapered brush and still stamping it on there and then running it through the crease. This brush allows you to have that precision that you need because it comes to such a tapered point where it fits right into your crease. And it looks just so much better. It's not dispersing the product blotchy. For some reason it was with this shade. I don't know why, but sometimes that happens. If that ever happens to you, try switching up your brush. I knew it wasn't the shadow because I have tried this Jaclyn Hill palette a billion times. It's like my go-to palette for almost everything. My clients, myself, everybody, every day, whatever. So I knew it wasn't the palette. It could just always be the brush. Sometimes it just doesn't disperse it the way you want it to. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cleaning off this same brush. It is annoying having to clean off your brush every time you want to use it, but I do like certain brushes for, you know, precision and blending. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this dark color right off of this brush using my Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. I have it in this Makeup Forever spray bottle just because the bottle is empty and I needed something to spritz it out of. So I am going to be taking that same JH40 brush and going back in with the Huda palette and mixing the first two shades I used from here. So I'm going to be taking this shade and this shade. And I'm going to go right over top of that darkest shade that I put on from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and ever so lightly holding the handle on the back, ever so lightly just blending in circular motions. This is going to blend it and bring those other two colors back into the picture. Okay, so next thing we're going to be doing is carving out the lid with some KKW concealer in number 1. I am going to be taking it on the back of my hand just a bit, and we are going to be carving out the crease. We are going to be taking a JH42 brush and just going to carve it out very precisely. It is a small, tiny brush, allows you to cut the crease so easily. So we're doing like a half cut crease today because I want the outer corner warmth to stay in. So I'm gonna be starting off in the center, only going about to here. If you ever feel like when you're cutting out your crease and the concealer starts to turn the color of your shadow, go ahead and wipe off your brush. Don't like clean it off with any cleaner. Just wipe off your brush because the shade is getting on the concealer, and then go back in with some more clean concealer and just start stamping it on. Okay, I went ahead and did half the crease, or cut the crease in half. That makes no sense sometimes when I speak. I swear sometimes I feel like I just mumble and stutter and trip over my tongue. Okay, so before that dries, I'm gonna be taking my new MAC 242S brush, and I'm gonna be taking this shade in the Huda Beauty palette right over here. And then I'm gonna be spraying my brush with some Fix Plus And then I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this exactly where I put the concealer. I like to go in with my finger after I place it with a brush so I can get the brush really precise and put it exactly where I carved out the crease. And then I like to go just like in the center and give it the most pigment with my finger, because with Huda Beauty shadows especially, they work best using your fingers. Do you see what a difference that made? It really makes such a big difference. And then I like to take just on the tip of my brush, this is what I always do. Even though I already went in with the brush, I'm gonna go in with it again and get the product only on the edge of the brush. And then I'm gonna spray it just like that and go ahead and get it really up in my crease, the shimmer shade. I'm lifting my brow and I'm just stamping it in there so the pigment is everywhere and there's no missing spots of shimmer where I want it to be. And now what I'm doing is I'm going back in with the JH40 brush and taking this dark shade in the JH palette, and I am going to blend out the harsh edges. I'm just gonna be doing it by stamping it in the center where the matte shade and the shimmers meet, and I'm just lightly tapping over it, and it kind of blends itself when you do that by just kind of tapping it in between both of those shades. Okay, so I am truly loving where this eyeshadow look is going, but what I do want to add is a little twist to it. I don't want it to just be all green tones. I do want the lower lash line to have a different pop of color on it. I've been really feeling color lately, you know. I don't know, I've been really liking to play with color and just play around with whatever. So I'm gonna be actually going in to the Jaclyn palette again, and I'm gonna be taking this like orangey shade and running it under my lower lash line. And I'm gonna be kind of taking this color low because I want my lower lash line to be very blown out and smoky. So hopefully this color looks good under there. So I'm gonna be taking it and hoping for the best. I'm actually now gonna be mixing it with this and this just to add a little bit of warmth. So these two shades, running it with the same brush under my lower lash line all the way in. Okay, so now taking the JH39 brush and going in with that first initial green shade that I used on the top, and I'm gonna be taking it on this brush so I could be more precise with it, starting off in the middle of my lower lash, and I'm not taking it as low as I took that orangey shade, and I'm just kind of gonna buff it low, but not low as low as I took the other shade. And I am gonna be taking this all the way in as well. And then taking a flat definer brush and going in with that dark shade right here. And this time I am not taking it all the way in, I'm gonna take it halfway in. I can't decide if I want to add another color under my lower lash line to pop it out more, because I kind of assumed that this color was gonna be a little bit more like popped, like pop of orange, but it's not really. It's more of like a khaki shade because I did mix it with the other one to give it some warmth, because that first initial shade right here wasn't really showing up the way I wanted it to. I feel like that is more of a transition-y shade. It's not more of a in-your-face kind of shade. So I don't know if I'm gonna do something with that. For now, I do love how it looks, so I'm going to leave it as is. I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some lashes and do the other eye off of camera, and I will be right back. I'm sorry, before I go ahead and finish the other eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this second shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette to highlight my brow bone. Okay, so yeah, now I will be right back with the finished eye and some lashes. Alright guys, and I am back with some lashes and liner. I didn't do a wing liner or top liner, I did inner water liner with this Milani Stay Put eyeliner. It's waterproof in Hooked on Espresso. So I used this one in my inner waterline and on my top inner waterline. I popped on some Huda Beauty lashes. I don't have the box for them. They were just in my like box of lashes. I think they're the Scarlet style. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think they are. I really like them. The only thing about the Huda Beauty lashes I will tell you guys is I feel like they're so hard to work with the second and third time you put them on, and they are like $20, $25 to $30. It depends which one you get. I think these ones are about $20. So they are kind of, they look so pretty, and I love all the styles. They're very comfortable, but they are kind of hard to work with after like the second wear because the inner corner like doesn't stay down. It almost like like has the curve right here and then just goes flat. I don't know, it's so weird. So you have to like kind of like really work with the inner corners, and I find it really difficult to put them on like the second and third time. I don't know if that's just me, maybe I'm an idiot. But other than that, this palette, the Emerald Obsessions by Huda Beauty, is amazing. I really love how my eye look turned out. I know I did use the Jaclyn Hill palette, and of course everybody knows that this palette is so amazing. This is like a holy grail. You must have it because it literally has every single possible shade you really do need to create any look you possibly want. Also, what I did is I popped on this shade in my inner corner as well, my brow bone. So that shade that I highlighted my brow bone with, I popped it on the inner corner. And then I also did take this shade right here that I did not touch earlier, this shade right here, and I popped it on the lower lash line. I don't know if you can see that. I popped it on the inner corner on the lower lash line just to give it some pop and some shimmer down there. So let's go ahead and move on to the face. So for today, I'm gonna be using a Hoola bronzer to bronze up these cheeks. My hair is looking all over the place. Clearly, I suck at putting my hair up in a ponytail. This piece right here is driving me nuts. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp this Hoola onto my face and kind of bronze and contour with it. By the way, I'm using a Morphe Y9 brush. Next thing I'm gonna be doing is taking my NARS Ita brush and contouring with the second shade in the Kat Von D palette. I would show it to you guys, but it's all broken, and if I hold it up to the camera, it's just gonna fall everywhere, so sorry about that. Next thing I'm going to be taking is some blush, some Anastasia blush on a JH4 brush. I'm going to be taking the Cover FX powder to bake my cheeks and the sides of my nose with. So while the bake is baking, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my face with the I Love Sarahi X Dose of Color in Soulmate highlighter. Is there really ever such thing as too much glow? I don't think so. So now I'm gonna be dusting away the bake with the JH05 brush, and what I like to do is I like to stamp the bake in to my face, so it really, really does give it that, you know, harsh cut contour that I really love. And then once I feel like it's stamped in enough, I go ahead and dust away the rest that is on top of the skin that didn't get pushed in. And last but not least, I'm going to be going in with some lipstick by Kylie Cosmetics. I'm going to be taking the shade Candy K and just filling in my lips. I know you guys are probably sick of looking at my foundation lips this entire video. I'm sorry about that. I just realized like I forgot to wipe it, but I don't usually like to wipe it because that's kind of how I overline my lips. Let me know if you guys want to see a video of how I overline my lips, because I have got a few requests for it. So I didn't know if it would be like a boring video, so I haven't really filmed it. It would probably take me 2 seconds to film. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that or whatever. So I could even do like an Instagram live or like a, you know, Insta story, Snap story, something like that. So let me know down below what you guys would think of that and if you guys would like that, so I can give you content that you love. Alright everyone, and that completes this makeup tutorial. I really love how this look turned out. Let me know what you think of this eye look down below in the comments. I would really appreciate it if you guys would comment down below, please. A lot of you have been asking me when I do my questions of the day, when you guys ask to comment, you guys are on your phones most of the time. So you guys ask me how to comment and you guys can't find it. So I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to go on my previous video that I just uploaded yesterday. It is a PA does my makeup. So I'm going to show you right here. This is the video, right? You're on your phone and you just like scroll down until you see right here. You see where everyone started commenting. So everybody was wondering like where it was. So you just scroll down a bit after all the suggested videos, and then you go here and it says add public comment. That's my icon. So your icon will show up, or your name, your initials, whatever it shows. You just do add public comment and you type in whatever you want and comment. So yeah guys, I'd really appreciate it if you comment down below so I can engage with you guys and all that fun stuff. So yeah guys, that completes this tutorial. The question of the day for you guys today is, please tell me what you guys want to see next in my videos. I did do like a question thing on my Instagram story, and you guys did give me some good suggestions, but here on YouTube I want to see what you guys think. So please comment that down below, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys. So right after powdering my face, I want that outer corner warmth. I want that outer corner warmth to stay in. So the reason I actually bought so usually what the fuck am I saying?